I mean, Ghostface is in my top 5 all time, anyways.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're Ghostface. Jerry, who did you go
Got
with?
my hat, got the hat, and got the
I can agree with Inspector Deck.
Inspected Deck. Graham is either Jizza or ODB.
I'm gonna die like ODB. There's no question. I'm gonna overdose on bagged up pieces of crack cocaine in a nightclub somewhere for sure.
Thanks to Boo.
Okay. I took
This is
RZA.
not. This is not 3-6 Mafia.
I took RZA. We got Alicia as
She's Ray.
Ray, and then Concrete was Method Man. Shindo's dead, so we don't even worry about him.
He's Capadonna.
Oh, he's Capadonna. Does Capadonna
That's
just
it.
flake whenever he feels like it without a word? Okay.
He's the one that nobody knew was even a member.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
That's the one
guys,
that cut
welcome to
his book off, right?
Stopgap. We're actually doing a show this weekend. I guess ignore the title of the show.
What was the title? This is the
We'll
end?
probably cancel. We'll
Semi-accurate.
probably cancel this one too. Is the title of the show.
We
The
have
show
a-
has started. We're canceling it now. Bye, guys.
Yeah. No, we've just had trouble syncing up for a Thursday
Life.
night.
Life,
Fucking-
being grown-ups.
Yeah, shit gets in the way.
Somebody needs naps.
Yeah, dude, I
Dining
fucking
naps.
I love my fucking naps.
Yeah.
No, when you get because I'll get like 3 hours of sleep some nights for some reason. Like I just can't go to sleep until like 3 a.m. and then I nap when I get home for 4 hours and I'm good to go. But Concrete's got
Sleep.
life shit, so he's on an extended hiatus, indefinite, and Shindo died.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do we know how he died yet?
No, I heard
it
Apparently
was
in a freak chef accident.
Yeah, freak chef.
I heard it was a
accident.
motorcycle accident.
He crawled so far up his own ass that he ran out of air and suffocated.
That's true. I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
No, he
While
got
making foie gras.
no. Congrats to him though. He got Twitch affiliate status. Not sure why people like watching a stream with someone who has no personality, but
Just couldn't make it work here. Though. Well,
I'm just joshing. Congrats, Shindo, if you're watching. If you're not,
he's not watching. He's playing video games.
yeah, he's definitely playing Apex, getting Pexy, boys. That game's fun as fuck.
It is.
I have been enjoying the shit.
I
out
hate
of that
that.
game.
I hate that it's fun. On it. Well, you know what I also realized this week that I like really hate, but is completely true. Do you know what the game is going to be to make me buy a Nintendo Switch?
What's that?
The new fucking Pokemon.
You
No,
fucking
nope.
Yep.
dirty
No,
rat.
for me, it's entirely that. It's dude. It's just because when like the trailer came
No.
out, graphics, dude. It's fucking Pokemon Stadium from like the N64 is exactly what it looks like, and it's just okay.
Fucking
This is
give
all
me-
my nostalgia.
Give me Pokemon Snap. Or give me
Exactly.
Death.
Like it's just that era of like kind of cool graphics that I'm like, oh no, why you do this to me?
Oh man.
Kind of cool. What year? What year did the one you're talking about come out? So I can understand the graphics you're talking about.
96.
Yeah, like N64.
90,
Yeah.
98.
It's probably the year last year I played video games.
The whole like Pokemon games
Stadium.
that were on the N64.
I was excited for Madden '93. But
Excited for NHL '94.
yeah. Which one was the one that Madden was like?
99. Oh no, it came out in 2000 in NA.
Hmm.
99 in Japan. Oh man.
See,
Speaking of Japan, have you seen how many robots Japan has employed
No.
in like regular places, like regular like stores? Like
I
they're
feel like
vastly and rapidly replacing humans.
I feel like
Well,
this
that's okay
makes
because they have a
noise.
declining population, so they're going to have to do something.
How's their population declining? What do you mean?
They aren't fucking.
And yeah, nobody's getting married, nobody's having kids.
They're still
Oh,
The ones that aren't having very many.
Yep.
Well, they're busy with the robots.
Although, with how high their population density is, like I wonder if that's not necessarily I wonder if it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's probably not. They had a lot of people, right? Like, or China, not like China though.
The population density of Japan is ridiculously high. Like
Yeah.
living space for a person is tiny. So
Yeah.
I wonder if it's necessarily a bad thing to have a somewhat lower like I wonder if that will lessen population density and lead to an increase in overall satisfaction with life. I don't know, but it seems like the declining population is due to negative societal pressures, like people kind of the pressures that are put on Japanese as a youth, from the way the society is structured. So it seems like it's declining for a negative reason, but I wonder if it'll be a net negative outcome with that.
Oh, no, it'll probably be positive. Like they have to, it'll probably work out in the end. But yeah, I mean, I know you're
like you said, their society has like.
No, I can't do it.
You can't do it. No.
Great dishonor.
Oh God damn it, Grant.
Well, that's what it is. Because they did like World War II.
No,
they had. No, that's true. They're under a huge amounts of pressure to be honorable.
They are. I mean?
Like, it's a ridiculous thing.
But it's the pressure. It's the pressure that like to get a good job, to get a good career, maintain a career, continue working.
To go work at Nintendo.
Fly your plane into
make Pokemon for me.
That like the women don't want to give up their jobs in order to have children, and the men don't want to give up their jobs in order to have children either. So like they just aren't having children.
Well, and also like the way that the school's structured, there's not a whole lot of time for being a kid anymore, and like that whole like they don't have like the dating culture that we do in the United States.
They don't have time to sneak off to the band room for a quick handy.
Those schools are
because their instruments are stupid.
What? Like, they play the same instruments as we do, dude.
No, they don't. They got some weird.
No, they play the same instruments as we do. Do you think like a Japanese band is just sitting on guchins?
Bro, I promise you they're playing something weird.
Just flugelhorns.
Steel guitar or something.
No, they play like the fucking saxophone.
They're balls.
I mean,
have you not?
Hold on. Japan's
well, no,
pretty
you haven't.
Westernized, yeah.
But
for like Eastern Asian culture, it's pretty Westernized.
Yeah. And if you've
kind of just occupied them for 80 years.
If you've like even looked at the new anime coming out in the past like 5 years, there's like 3 or 4 band shows.
Oh, really?
Every season, yeah. And it's cute girls that are overly sexualized for 14-year-olds playing instruments.
And they also have a lot of like little Japanese NSYNC bands.
No, that's Korea. What the fuck,
that's
dude?
Korea.
No, that's Korea.
No, J-pop's.
J-pop's not huge though.
It's not. No, it's not huge the same way as
they have idols.
J-pop.
Japan has idols. They don't really have like the fucking 40 girl groups.
No, I'm talking about like
idols where like there's a single idol that
the wife and I went to.
They still have some bigger ones.
The wife and I went to this Korean fusion restaurant in Philadelphia a couple months ago, and like the whole thing is K-pop, like inside, and it's like all screens with like K-pop, and it's just like I don't. And normally like we're really good about like having like conversing like when we go out and have food and stuff, and both of us for the entire time we're just like
mesmerized by it,
just watching the K. Like it's insane, like the production values and like everything going on. We're both just like, this is amazing. Wow.
So like regular concert is like the Super Bowl concert here.
Yeah. G-Dragon,
like production value wise.
G-Dragon's my shit.
You know about this. You know who they are?
Oh yeah, he's a rapper.
What the fuck?
Oh, he is. I hope you realize that my girlfriend right now is going to wake up at like 3 in the morning.
Which one? Which one is this?
Tomorrow.
He was the front man for
No, I meant which girlfriend?
Fuck, who is he the front man for?
Hold on. I'll be right back. The kids, I hear the
Menudo
kids around in his bedroom.
No, hold on, let me look it up. I gotta look it up. Big Bang. He was the front man for Big Bang. And he's super effeminate looking, but he's actually a decent rapper.
Yo, I felt so old. I made a Kurt Cobain reference, right? And 3 people said, "Who's Kurt Cobain?" Can you believe that?
That's rough.
Yeah. Everybody
knows
that's the lead singer of like Creed or Linkin Park.
Soundgarden.
Linkin Park. Yeah. No.
Chester
was it Pearl Jam?
Oh, fuck Pearl Jam. Real talk. Fuck Pearl Jam.
Yeah, Pearl Jam's a bunch of assholes. I went and saw him in concert, and he literally came on stage for 2 songs, and then he goes, "I got the shits. I'll be right back." And he put Neil Young on because it was at the San Francisco Polo Fields, and Neil Young stayed on for like 6 hours, and then Eddie Vedder never came back out. You know what Neil Young's like after 6 hours? He did Keep on Rocking in the Free World like 42 times.
Eddie Vedder's asshole was after 6 hours of shitting?
Yeah. He's just because he.
Alicia, what's it like to spend 6 hours shitting?
Can you tell us? She's like, oh shit. She's not gonna answer.
Spend 6 hours shitting.
Does Eddie Vedder have Crohn's?
He should.
I mean, it's different for every person. It depends on if you have blockage or not. Either it's going to come out very quickly, or it's going to take forever, cause a lot of pain, and then eventually it'll show up and you can't push. Like, it depends on the situation, but also it's usually that it's really fast, but that they're like really frequent.
Let's see his personal life. Let's see if we can find Crohn's in here.
That's
interesting. According to Wikipedia, Eddie Vedder was never diagnosed with Crohn's, so I'm pretty sure he lied to you, Graham.
No, what? Because he had to take a shit. He said he was drinking the night before, and said, "Look up Polo Field, San Francisco, Pearl Jam. I promise you it happened in like the 90s."
I don't want to.
Well, you don't want me to be right.
No, I just don't want to.
Okay. All right. So what happened with Trump today? Why did he leave? Why did he diss out on Kim Jong-il?
Now he's a war hero. Didn't you hear?
What do you mean? Tell me.
Oh, he got shot down in Hanoi.
No, he didn't. Isn't that George Bush and Kennedy?
Well, where was the conference?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where? Singapore?
Dude, I finally got this person's name. Eileen Ulick. Fuck.
Yep.
That's a good one. I like that.
Hey, everyone thinks that's you.
Everyone fucking thinks that's me. Oh,
yeah.
Well. That's just because their fucking little brains can't comprehend that, like, A.
That's me?
No, that A, I wouldn't want to watch their shitty fucking show. And B, like, why the fuck would I go with something that simple, that close to my fucking real name?
Yeah. Well, that's why they think it's you.
Okay. The joke was that Trump and Kim Jong-un are talking in Hanoi.
Yeah, well, he left. He left and he said...
Right, he got shot down in Hanoi. That's the joke.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I got you.
Ha!
I got you. But I don't think he got shot down, though. I think they left. He left because they went... They're making it like...
Well, no, it's
negotiations.
Fucking, yeah, it's fucking loudmouth A talking to Kim Jong-un B. How does anyone expect this to go well?
I don't know, but they do. And with that fucking smile of his, that Kim Jong-il, Trump's going to get... This is not going to go well. I promise you. They're all warm and fuzzy right now. You wait till they start getting some negotiations and Trump saying some serious shit, and he sits there and he's staring at that guy with that fucking smile, because he never lets that go. No, he never lets that go. Trump's not gonna. He's gonna say this fucking guy. He's gonna flip out.
What if like Kim Jong-un is just like Trump's intellectual superior though? What if that's why like Trump stormed out of the meeting? Like what if Kim Jong-un just fucking got his ass?
He's just negotiating the shit out of him, and like Trump's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to say Kim Jong-il out-negotiated me." Oh no.
Yeah, and so he just walked away from the table because he's such a great negotiator.
Fuck this. He got out-negotiated me, and then he had to put a spin on it. He had to say it was like the greatest meeting of all time. What a fucking douchebag.
What did I miss?
The Hanoi summit.
Well, hey, what about Michael Cohen's testimony for the past 3 days?
Do you think that's real? I think it's bullshit, to be honest with you. But like, I'm not saying it's not possible that guy, but I assumed he was all those things anyway.
Colin, yeah, I mean, just his personal lawyers essentially calling Trump a criminal and a racist.
I think he's
amazing.
I think he's 100% telling the truth, but that doesn't make him not a piece of fucking garbage.
Right. Yeah, I hate that argument.
He was his fixer for so long. You know what I mean? So like that's why he knows all of the dirt, because he was the one that was supposed to be taking care of all this stuff.
But shouldn't he have better dirt though than like the stuff that you just know he already is? that he already did. I mean, there's nothing that he said surprised me at all. I don't think it surprised anybody else either. Everyone just assumes that's how he is.
I mean, he's probably got some dirt, but why would he share that with the public when he could put it behind closed doors and try and get a fucking sentence?
I mean, he already got a pretty good deal. He only got 3 years.
I mean, well, also the funniest part out of all of it to me is Roger Stone still can't shut the fuck up.
Roger Stone is a
and
fucking
they put a
cannon, man.
They put a gag order on him, and he can't shut up.
How can you be worth billions? Okay, low billions, whatever billions. It's argued that Trump's been worth billions before in the past. How can you be worth billions and get a guy that can't shut his fucking mouth? I mean, this Roger Stone is out of.
Because Trump can't shut his own. Trump can't shut his mouth either.
Dude,
yeah,
how about the fucking posters held up?
Yeah.
That said, "Liar, liar, pants on fire." Like, this is Congress.
Idiocracy.
This
Idiocracy.
is fucking Congress, and you're bringing a poster in that says "Liar, liar, pants on fire." That's what we've come to.
It's that movie.
Regardless of like the things that Trump may or may not accomplish, like he could fucking end world hunger tomorrow, but he still ruined fucking the modicum of respect for politicians in this country.
Oh, did he do it? Did he do it though, or did the people the way they treat him? You know,
it was already on its way, but this was the shit icing on the turd cake right here.
Yeah, it's you can't blame the guy for being a fucking scumbag. It's the people that put him in office. I mean, think about it.
You can totally blame the guy for being.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he's just being him. He's thinking he's a fucking great guy, and that's his
it's
downfall.
It's not like he put on an act.
True.
Yeah.
To get elected, like he's
exactly.
If anything, like I got to give him credit for that. Like he is who he is. He hasn't changed at all for anybody.
Not even a little bit. He's exactly who he says he is.
And so the fact that people were willing to, my issue is that people were willing to overlook they were willing to overlook stuff because they thought he was going to be a certain, like his supporters thought he was going to be a certain way. And now when they find out that he's not.
Oh, they're
trying to discredit Cohen by saying like, oh, he committed some crimes and cheated on his wife. Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter. I hate that argument, dude.
That's literally the exact same thing that Trump's done.
Right.
But that's like a guy on trial for murder, and his defense is that the guy up the street cheated on his fucking wife.
Yeah.
And that's his defense. It's the stupidest arguments of all time. It's like 6-year-olds.
Yeah, he watched me murder this dude, but he's got child porn on his computer.
Yeah. So I should get off for this murder because he's got child porn. So fucking stupid.
Did I
it makes
mention
no sense?
So obnoxious, dude.
It really is. But so it is. I mean, I bet you I still say that Trump gets reelected.
Who else is going to?
Yeah, there's no way.
Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren. Like, no, there's no Bernie Sanders again.
No one.
What's weird to say
Clinton.
is that Bernie Sanders is the only one with a chance that's stepped out so far.
And I have an issue. But as much as I respect Bernie Sanders as a person, I don't want him as a president. I don't want another.
I don't want another
fucking president. How old is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 106.
But the difference is throughout Bernie's entire career, he's always done things to benefit the youngest generation.
He's 77 now. He's 77 now.
It's one of those. One of my big points, I guess, agreeing with Pretty Matthew, is like that's kind of partially why I like Barack. He's not fucking 75. Yeah. Which is the average age of everybody.
Yeah, but should that be the line? Hey,
I don't know.
75.
You have to take a test. Like, you have to take a test to keep your driver's license over a certain age. You should have to take a test to be able to be reelected to Congress at a certain point.
Yeah, there's no peak level. Like, you have to be 35 to be president.
I have an issue with all of these fucking dinosaurs that are trying to decide policy for the next couple generations. Like,
you don't think they should die on the Senate floor?
No, fuck all of that. Yeah. I have a real issue with that. And it's and I'm not like I'm not like super, I'm not a huge like AOC fan, but at least she's like of the right. At least she's of the generation that she's trying to legislate. You know, what I mean? Even if I disagree with her, at least she can understand like where people are coming from. Like fucking, you know. And like I said, as much as I respect Bernie Sanders as a person, and I do, like the work that he's done in his life. He was out there marching with fucking Malcolm. You know what I mean? He was there during the civil rights battle.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
Like he's a real dude, right? And I respect him, but at the same time, I don't want a 77-year-old person who's been in politics for his entire adult life at this point to be the person that's deciding policy for the next couple generations of people coming up. I don't want
it. Throughout his entire career, even currently, he's fought for issues that benefit the younger generation, that benefit our generation.
I agree.
At some point, he's going to lose touch.
He's still 77 years old now, so that means he'd be 78 if he won. He'd be minimum 78 years old taking office.
I can't see how I relate to anybody that goes to bed at 6:30, and you know what I mean, like these old people that they just think different at some point. At some point, he's 77. The rest of his life, I can see being 50, 60 and still kind of relating. But you start to get to a certain age and you're not going to be able to relate to the younger generation. It's going to start being weird shit.
It's just I don't.
And did. Like
that was my issue with McCain. Like
did the younger people?
I love John McCain. Like I respected John McCain as a person as well, right? I didn't agree with all of his politics, but I respected him so much as a person, right? And my issue with him as well would have been mainly his age, and you know,
when he ran against Barack, do you remember how he looked at the end of that? Remember, like when they put him,
he would beat the fuck down.
It looked terrible. He looked fucking awful. It's probably a large portion to do with why he did as bad as he did.
Go look at the same time, like it is also you're still the president of the United States. Look at Barack Obama nowadays.
Yeah,
and he's still your age.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked like Graham coming out of that presidency.
Yeah,
and he's younger.
You know, he would have had a real chance if he hadn't picked Sarah Palin to be his running partner.
He probably would have won.
He would have.
If he had gone with his original plan was he wanted to get Joseph Lieberman, so that way it was like a Republican and a Democrat get together. Like
the party would never go for that.
And that was the reason they ended up not. That's the reason they ended up not doing it. But that could have definitely been. Now I'm glad that that Barack Obama won the presidency, but I do think that McCain Lieberman split ticket like that could have definitely had a lot of potential for unification across the parties.
No, I entirely agree. That's always been my big, that's my argument I bring every fucking show. Basically, is no, the point of the government set up the way it is you have to compromise and work together, not my party versus your party.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I like the old style. Like, I forget when they changed it, but it used to be the winner was the president and the second place was the vice president.
He stopped that with Quincy Adams.
We should go back to doing that.
The second guy.
Yeah. We should have gone back to doing that.
Man, if fucking McCain had won, that would mean that
he would have died 15 minutes into office.
No, that means we'd probably have fucking Obama now.
Yeah, good point.
He'd be 8 years more seasoned in the legislature. It would have built up, for being handed the situation that he was, I think he did about as good a job as possible.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's saying he's the worst president of all time, but
but people always say that about every president that comes through. You know what I mean?
He's nowhere close to the worst president of all time.
I'm just saying, I don't think so either. I think the situation he was in was pretty bad.
7 years of just pure economic growth is. You got to give him credit where it's due for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you see what he was he was handed off on. What he was handed to work with. He didn't have a whole lot of raw material to work with in the very beginning either. So.
Yeah, but you can make the same justification for fucking
Clinton.
Bush's presidency.
Bush.
He could have done so much better, but then 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and I've said that before. I would have liked to. That's one of those what if questions, because his entire thing was going to be education and immigration. He was all about having a a path forward
right.
for immigration. Like, he was the fucking governor of Texas. He speaks fluent Spanish. Like, he was very pro immigration. Like, he had this whole thing that he was going to do for, you know, path to legalization and to open the borders up. This was a Republican president, and he ran on this. This is like one of his main things. It was going to be immigration and education were like his two main things, and then that all went out the window.
Exactly.
On September 11th.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's one of those what if kind of questions. Because once again, like,
I would be curious about that too. Yeah.
Like,
he would have been a good president.
Like, like to see what his actual education ideas would have been too, and not just like
W is another person.
Go with No Child Left Behind, and we're gonna keep that. That's our education system now, and have fun.
Like, W is another person that strikes me as being like a decent human being that
all of them were.
Maybe necessarily wasn't the right person for that job. Like, he delegates stuff out and kind of let people do. But
he didn't set Betsy DeVos as the Department of Education.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Amway, homie. You need that Amway money.
But no, like that's been the weirdest. That was the hardest part about this entire election. This has definitely been the first time in my life, at least, where we had an election where it's like, wow, I can't respect either of the candidates as a human being. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, before, it's like, I can disagree with your politics, but I can see, no, you're trying to do the best for the country. And then this election really was
you honestly believe you're doing the best thing.
Yeah.
Even if I disagree with you, you really believe that this is what needs to be done.
I think most of them do, though, right? Like, most of them probably think that. They probably think they're doing the right thing. I don't think any of them are.
Most of them do,
up until this most recent election.
But this
you think that Trump doesn't think that he's doing the right thing?
I think Trump doesn't think that he has any idea what he's doing, and he can't believe he actually got there.
Well, I believe that, but I'm saying like the shit that he does do though. I think that he thinks that they're the right things to do.
Yeah, for Russia.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think he does, but
you think that he's I don't think. All right. Well, I guess. I just don't think that he thinks he's doing anything wrong. I mean, I don't think anybody.
I can see that, but it's a harder throw, and it's the same thing with Hillary. Like, for both of those, it was like, damn, these are definitely the worst candidates I've ever received in my life.
Do you know how evil they would have to be like literally evil, like to know that what they were doing was wrong and still go forward with it? I just don't.
Well, that's how you become a billionaire, dude.
I mean, we've had some of those.
Yeah.
We've had Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing was wrong, but did it anyways.
Yeah, I got what the hell? You saw the Reddit post today too?
Mm-mm.
There was a Reddit post about him today.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, specifically talking about how he was like the only president to ever bring the national debt to zero. Like, completely paid off the national debt.
When was this? Who was it?
Andrew Jackson.
Oh yeah, we know that much. It's like $42 to like Morocco or some shit for spices.
And what, like, how did he do that?
I don't know. I didn't read the full article.
Man, come on.
I mean, you can hop on Reddit and find it.
I've just pulled it up right now.
It was like a part of his wiki or whatever. I think is all linked to, or the national debt wiki or something.
Yeah, he killed off the national bank. They decided to divide the money amongst the states. Land bubble out of control, slowing everything down. And we've done with sales in gold or silver. A huge crash. It was a huge crash. So after the end of this, it was a huge crash in the beginning of the longest depression in American history. It lasted 6 years before the economy began to grow again. During this depression, the government started borrowing money again. No one says that paying off the debt caused the depression. The bubble was going to pop sometime, but the result is that we had to kiss a debt-free U.S. goodbye. Yeah.
Damn.
But the whole thing is he was a terrible person, and like he knew he was a terrible person and still did whatever he wanted to do anyways.
Like, commit genocide.
But he's on the $20 bill now, so it's whatevs.
So, the TV at work has been stuck on Fox News for a while. Did you guys know that the black dude lied?
The what?
That one black dude, he lied. That's like,
I'm leaving that alone.
As far as that's the only news that's happened.
Well, no. Also, AOC is a communist because she decided that she wanted to pay her staff a living wage.
Oh yes,
fucking dare.
So that kind of bothers me.
I did see that, but really, the important news that we should be focusing on.
Did the 11-year-old get hit again?
Is the black dude that lied?
Fuck. No kids.
Not that the Catholic Church destroyed all the records showing that they had priests molesting children for decades. That the cardinal finally
and
did that.
Again,
and definitely not that there was a Coast Guard lieutenant that was planning terrorist attacks on the United States. But, guys,
that's a big deal.
Guys, let's focus on the important shit. A black dude lied.
What did he lie about?
And Brie Larson is a terrible person, and Captain Marvel is going to do terrible because she has her own personal opinions.
That's there's that. But what did he lie about?
News as well.
All these people. What's he lying for? This guy.
Oh no! It actually was pretty fucking. Stupid.
I'm outraged.
Oh,
you talk about the guy from that TV show?
Empire.
What a dick! What a dick!
Yeah,
you know what's funny though?
He's like garbage though. That dude
the issue with that is that it takes away from, because like things really do happen. There really are bias and hate crimes, people targeted due to ethnicity or sexual orientation, or like that really does happen. So when you have something like this happen, all this is now ammunition for people to be like, see, this isn't a thing. This isn't a thing.
Yeah, but like, you know what happened? I have a whole different take on this. Like, you ever like something happened to you and you kind of embellish it? You just like this is like something that totally got away from this guy. I think like he didn't realize.
Well, no, you paid that.
What's that?
You paid that.
Yeah, there's a check. There's a $3,500 check.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Right,
no, like he straight up paid them to attack him.
Yeah, and then he had a whole thing like prefabricated.
Who's he working for though? I bet you there's a couple layers to this that go a little bit deeper.
Well, apparently he wanted to raise his status to be able to get paid more on the show, but like the only thing that's going to happen is like you are now removed from the show and you're not going to be getting work again for
a long. Probably not. He's probably not going to. Not like anything significant.
You don't think he could do a comeback?
No.
No way, right?
No. Not after the way that he toured the media outlets and all this shit talking about how it was a struggle and like, no fucking way. He played too many fucking people to ever have any connections again.
He's the line. There's like no benefit in like redeeming him.
I think Kevin Spacey gets redeemed before Jussie Smollett.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mel Gibson,
also gay.
Not Mel Gibson. Fucking what's his face?
Mel Gibson.
I'm surprised Mel Gibson. I'm surprised it's been so long on Mel Gibson now.
They gave him a second chance. He got a second chance.
Like he's had a second chance. Like
yeah, he came back and called the reporter a fucking asshole at the end of it, and then went into his whole diatribe about the Holocaust not being real.
Yeah.
Really?
And he still got a second chance. I don't think Jussie Smollett ever will.
Although, how fucking stupid do you have to be to not believe the Holocaust is real?
I mean,
there's a whole
Mel Gibson doesn't deserve a second
industry of Holocaust denial.
I know Alex Jones has a fan base, but still, I'm not saying they're intelligent.
Alex Jones has been proven to be pretty fucking accurate, dude. Like, I'm saying he's a maniac and he screams and he yells and his approach is wrong, but he's been proved I think it's like 80% accuracy or some shit like that. I don't know the numbers, don't quote me on him, but he has definitely been proven to be pretty accurate. I mean,
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there.
I'm telling you, look it up.
I'm not
There's
a
lot of shit that he's saying.
They're wrong.
But I'm saying like a lot of shit that he says
even if
ends
that's
up being true.
It's you can't accept that argument because the gravity of half of the shit that he dies on a hill for.
Well, yeah, he sticks marbles in his ass. That's the problem.
No.
He's got to take his shirt off at some point too.
Yeah,
the sky is blue, the grass is green, and I shit purple.
Yeah, but he sticks marbles.
I got a 33% truth rating.
Chemtrails.
You were talking about a person who actively targets and goes after parents who an entire elementary school was fucking shot up.
Yeah, well,
and claiming it's a false.
That's the marbles that he sticks in his ass. He's got 80% accurate, and then all of a sudden he starts sticking marbles up his asshole, and you kind of not want to listen to him. That's the problem with him.
That's a lot more than fucking marbles.
I'm just saying, it's like you can't take the guy seriously because of that. That's what I'm
saying. My issue was like this, like Sandy Hook denial. That one was really like that one bothered me a lot.
Well, yeah, he's made some real wrong moves.
No, he actually made a campaign targeting those parents.
Why do you think he did that though? There's got to be. He's not a stupid person, so why would he do that? You know, like there had to have been some benefit.
There are people who are stupid enough to go for it.
Was it even a close argument? Did he have any facts?
Why the fuck do we do this show? We're not that stupid.
I don't know why I do the show, to be honest with you.
I don't know either.
But I kind of miss it when it's not here.
Yeah.
You guys scared us, huh?
Oh man. No, but like Graham, I can say 4 true things and then be like, did you guys know that black people turn into spiders at night and crawl onto the ceiling and scream at me? Like,
those are the marbles. That's what I'm saying.
No, because if I'm telling you, if I'm saying like 2 + 2 is 4, 3 + 3 is 6, 4 + 4 is 8, 5 + 5 is 10, the Mexicans are coming into our town, breaking all of our windows and shitting in our boots.
You know, they say
you don't get that?
Like no, then that's not an 80% truth rating. You're fucking nuts, and you know elementary math.
Right, that's my point. You're arguing my point.
You're saying he's like no. You said he's like 80% right on the shit that he had.
Yeah,
that he said.
Just like the math that you just did.
Arguing that 2 + 2 = 4 doesn't give you bonus truth rating.
Listen to me, goddammit. No, you're not gonna do this one to me. Fuck that. What I'm saying.
You did it to yourself.
No, I didn't. You won't let me explain it because you don't. Just because you don't understand on a level that I'm dealing with. I just said all those. I'm saying he's got an 80% truth rate, and then he sticks marbles in his ass, and you kind of go, I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that guy. You know what I mean? Like everything could be accurate, and that's true, but then he does something so fucking crazy, like that you just can't believe him. I'm arguing your point.
No,
exactly.
No. You presented it. You're
I said
fucking
he's got an
terrible
80% accuracy rate, which is accurate. That's true. He's a fucking nutball because
where are you getting your numbers from?
I know that's what I'm
getting. That's what I said. Don't quote me on the numbers, but it's something like that. If you look at it like a lot of the shit that he talks about, it ends up being true. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's high. It's high. I mean, you could look it up. I don't know where, but.
So speaking of spiders, you know they say that you eat 4 spiders a year, but the truth is, you can eat as many as you want. Treat yourself.
The truth is, spiders eat you.
Yeah.
That's how many spiders just take a little nibble every year. Think about that while you're fucking sleeping.
I don't like those things. They don't bother me as much as snakes, though.
Yeah, it's because they don't like you either.
Listen here. It's a whole new me. This is me now. I'm not taking your shit anymore.
Oh, Graham.
Bullshit.
Graham, you know me better than to think that's true.
Listen. Well, you must not know me well enough.
There you go. Alex Jones, PolitiFact truth rating.
I know. I'm like looking through.
It's high, right?
And it's just false.
False. Pants on fire. Pants on fire. False.
Where are you getting this from, though?
Politico. PunditFact. Where they fact check things that people say.
Hey, one of my good high school buddies. That's actually his job.
Holy fuck! We can give someone a full-time job if we take the bullshit Graham says. Every time we do this show.
Oh no, Graham. I know why Graham loves Alex Jones, and it's because
Graham love Alex Jones. How do I love Alex Jones?
No. I just mean that is you know exactly how to just make that empire. You could totally go and make that. Yeah.
He stole my whole fucking thing. He used to be a weightlifter. You know that, or like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like there's pictures of him like on a horse or some shit with no shirt on, looking all buff.
He wasn't on a horse. That's
whatever he was on. Putin was on a horse. He was on, but I think there's a picture of him too on a horse.
No, just him shirtless.
There's no, you know for sure.
Yeah, I know there's no picture of Alex Jones on a horse.
Well, I can't produce one, so.
Yeah, I'm positive on that.
I bet you there's a picture of him on a horse somewhere.
Oh, there's Photoshop pictures of him on a horse. Yeah.
Yeah. That's him on Putin's horse.
Maybe. So. But he's running. He's doing his thing. I mean, you can't hate on him.
Yes, you absolutely can.
No, you really can't. I mean, he's just doing his thing. Like whatever.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
okay,
but you're
if
I'm human being adult that you can disagree with him.
If I'm just doing my thing and I'm like, hey guys, let's rise up. Let's take all the Jews, put them in camps, and start gassing them.
So you're saying that,
like, that's just me do. No, I'm just saying, like, you can absolutely you can absolutely hate someone for doing their fucking thing. If I go, hey guys, let's take all the Mexican children, put them into fucking camps, and separate them from their parents while we send their parents back to Mexico. You can fucking hate me for that.
He's like an entertainer. He's not doing anything.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Because he doesn't present himself as an entertainer. He presents himself as a
news source.
Yeah, as a political commentator, as a news source. So he's taking people, making them believe what he says, and convincing them that he's telling the truth.
Doesn't like Jim Baker do that? Doesn't all these like TV evangelists do that? You know what I mean? Like you can disagree with them and just
fucking hate them for what they do. Televangelists take advantage of the sick, the weak, and the gullible.
I don't know. I just never put that much into it. I guess you're right, but I'm just saying I don't spend any time worrying about what they're doing. You know,
you should. You should, because if you ignore them, then you'll just get swept up in one of them.
No, because I don't believe him ever. You know, I don't. I think it's funny. Most of the time.
Until one says something that sounds sounds pretty right about you.
Sure. Yeah, those guys are right. Those guys are right, though.
It's.
I'm looking through the Democratic, like who the top Democratic candidates are right now, and it's a
mess.
It's depressing.
Who is it? Anybody surprising?
No, Cory Booker, Julian Castro, John Delaney, Tulsi Gabbard, who's a representative from Hawaii, Kirsten Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren, and then Biden, Bloomberg, Hickenlooper, Terry McAuliffe.
So, how many of those really want to be president, though? You know,
Beto O'Rourke.
I knew a guy that used to come into the Mirage all the time, like once a month. He would come in, and nice guy. And I used to talk to him a lot. I'd sit while he'd be playing like 3-card poker or whatever. And I talked to him a lot, and he was releasing a book. He's a political radio guy down in Atlanta, and he was releasing a book. So he started running for president, you know, like as a promotional thing. And it was Herman Cain. He ended up like being like one of the front runners at some point.
I remember.
He didn't want to be president. No way. No way. It kind of ruined his life. The whole thing. I mean, you know, he didn't have that shit fleshed out at all. Do you remember watching him?
It was a mess.
Yeah. It was cool at first, but...
It was a train wreck you couldn't stop looking at.
He had like one layer of content, and then like as soon as it started getting deep, he was like, oh shit. Oh shit. He did not want that at all. It ruined his life for a long time. I mean, he couldn't, you know. What got him out eventually? It was something about Libya, right?
I don't remember. I honestly, that's so long ago now.
Yeah, he said some dumb shit at some point. He's a good guy. I mean, I don't see why, you know, he would have been just as good as anybody that year.
What was that, 6 years ago now?
Yeah, it was the year Trump won, I think.
No, it was the one before that.
No, it wasn't.
Obama was running still.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was the Trump one because they were all front runners at some point. It was definitely the Trump one. It was because Obama was running against what's his face was always the front runner, right? Yeah, because it was.
Oh yeah, because no.
No, he was a candidate for the 2012 U.S. presidential Republican Party presidential nomination, 2012.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long fucking time ago. Dude. I didn't think it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Man, it's weird. It's
crisis happened.
It's so weird seeing like a black presidential candidate in 2012 because I know that white Republicans are just lining up to beat a black man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, that's good. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was going to make it worse. Learning.
No, you see, it's not a linger longer when people are laughing.
That was the last year that Ron Paul made a actively ran.
But now we got
he probably got more votes last year than he did any other year that he ran, or last election than he did any other year he ran.
People like that guy, man. They go for his shit.
Oh, who said this?
What?
I'm finding out.
Damn, that was 2012. I can't believe. Yeah, that's true because I was still working at the Mirage. Shit, that's crazy.
I'll go in a minute.
2012 was Mitt Romney, right?
Yeah.
Fucking good. Oh my god, what a terrible idea that guy was.
Turn off my camera for you.
Yeah, they've just had fucking bad ideas.
He just looked bad. Like he just looked.
No, you're good.
Like just like even because at the time I actually voted for Barack Obama, but he just looked evil, didn't he? Mitt Romney, like he had something up his sleeve.
It's partially that, but it was more just everyone was like, "Oh, you have magic underwear," and that became a thing.
Yeah, you're a Mormon.
Here, I did
It was like the magic underwear is what killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did like a meme like back then with him in his magic underwear. If I can find it. Yeah, he's stiff. He looked like a mannequin.
Yeah.
Everything about him rubbed me wrong. Everything about him rubbed me wrong.
Skittles, what are you eating?
I don't even fucking know.
We're just eating.
There you go.
There's some pasta, shoveling. Some farfalle, chicken. I think this is spinach. I don't know. It's like just made to go limp, not really cooked.
Al dente.
We got some mushrooms and bacon.
Is there a sauce binding all this together?
Oil.
Oil.
It's oil. Just oil. Mm-hmm. Vegetable oil.
Straight up from Georgia.
Oh. That's onion I taste too. It comes together well.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a good set of good combination of flavors there.
Where did I get it at?
Yeah, where'd you get it?
I have a wife.
She didn't get it from. She made that. She just threw together whatever was left. Or
yeah, people that don't have sad lives make their own.
Listen to you. Listen, I'm just asking you a fucking question.
Not all food comes.
Fucking guy.
Comes in a microwave-ready package, Grant.
Yeah, Grant. Yeah. I can't find this in the fucking Hungry Man.
How many
aisle.
times is the phone ring while we're on the when we're doing this and it's him telling his wife what he wants from some fast food fucking place? I'm just asking if it's from Presto Pasta or some bullshit.
See,
no, I've never seen your wife.
Skittles. Graham doesn't probably cook because he doesn't have a real.
I went to fucking culinary school, sweetheart.
Yeah, so. But do you cook for
yourself I do.
Right now?
Like every day.
You don't have a kitchen.
A hot plate. A hot plate is not a kitchen.
A plate, no mini fridge.
No, he's got a kitchen bathroom. It's right next to his bedroom closet.
Right, you guys are so fucking morons. I mean, just.
Oh, but okay. So, Colt, how do you feel about just that? I mean, congratulations, I guess. I didn't realize that you guys completely 100% defeated ISIS.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're done.
We're killing
the end of the caliphate. The end of the caliphate, as he said.
There are no more terrorists.
None. They're all gone.
Ignore that terrorist attack in Syria that killed 3 U.S. service members. That happened a couple weeks after that notification. Ignore that.
Was there a nuke that dropped in Syria?
No.
They're I don't know what it's from.
But speaking of, if we're not careful, there's going to be some nukes flying back and forth between India and Pakistan in the near future.
Oh shit! Yes.
They're shooting down jets, man.
Look up nuke in Syria. There's cell phone video about there's about 150 of them from different angles in Syria that looks like someone dropped a nuke in Syria.
It could have been a large bomb, but
it's probably just probably a Moab.
Yeah, it could be a thermobaric
Yeah.
explosion.
I mean,
which they definitely look like nukes. They come out with a fucking mushroom
giant
cloud.
mushroom cloud and everything.
Yeah.
The only
this one
two
didn't really
nukes
have much
that
of a mushroom cloud.
the only two nukes that have ever been used not in testing was Japan.
August 6th and 8th.
Yeah.
But
there are bombs big enough nowadays that
look it up. Go on YouTube and tell me what you think it looks like.
I am right now.
But that's not a nuke.
That's why I was asking. I don't know.
Yeah, like all of these I'm seeing. No, this is not a nuke. This is a large explosion. This is nowhere close to a nuke.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked like one either, but that's like a suitcase nuke would probably be like that size, though, right?
Yeah, but Israel is not going to break out a tactical nuke. They're not going to use. They're not going to do that until they.
Crazy though.
They're going to go. They're going to go ham if they use atomic weapons. They're not just going to use one little tactical.
Well, whatever that was, they didn't want it to be known, and the cell phone video started coming out on it, right? I mean, no one's going to be able to get away with shit anymore.
It's just a Moab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thermobaric vacuum bomb.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that suck all the air out of the?
Yeah, fuel air. Yeah, that's nasty.
What it does is it comes down and there's an initial explosion that spreads the fuel out, and then another explosion that ignites all that fuel and ignites the air, and it ends up creating like a fucking vacuum somehow. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's like a reverse. There's the first pressure wave, and then there's like a reverse pressure wave. But
yeah,
it collapses your lungs and before it vaporizes you. Yeah, it's a nasty piece of ordnance.
Those people didn't seem to. The ones recording it didn't seem too stressed, right? Like they seemed a little bit too close to be.
Maybe they're not ISIS, so they ain't got no reason to worry.
Like if that, yeah.
Thermobaric weapon.
If there was a nuke that close to you, you'd hear about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they
like it
just came out from every different angle, so they couldn't. It definitely happened, whatever that was. You know what I mean?
No, it was a gigantic bomb. There's no denying that. But like the thing about you can't hide a nuke, basically.
Yeah, radiation counters and everything. Yeah, like the world would know. And it would have been announced that would be a huge, you would never hear the end of it from anybody.
That's kind of why I brought it up, to see,
I mean, Iran would have been on the front if Israel had used a tactical nuke in Syria, Iran would have been on the front page of everything screaming about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There would be massive trace elements of it still in the atmosphere and in the ground. That's what I mean, where it's just, you can't hide that.
Well, definitely, you can't hide anything anymore.
But yeah, I low-key hope that Pakistan launches a nuke at Syria and they just fucking slap that down and then steamroll them. Launches a nuke at India. At India, yeah.
Hide it.
Pakistan's so fucking ass backwards.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
India's not much better, but Pakistan is fucking ass backwards.
They are fucking insane, dude. So I'm on these live sites, these live.me and these where these people broadcast.
Yeah, you pay girls to take their money.
No, it's not even about girls. It's not even about girls. Stop making a fucking joke for a second. These Pakistanis come in, and I'm telling you, every fucking one, and they don't know each other. They're independently fucking weird, and every one of them says, "Open Bobs" is a big one that they say, and they call everyone BB, and they all say the same shit, and they're super super sexualized, super sexual, overly aggressive as fuck.
But yeah, it's almost as if you have a society that represses that you.
Yeah. But how can they do that and then all be that way? You know what I mean? They're all really, really, really.
Because they don't all know that every one of them is and every one of them isn't like that. That's a gross
It's very close, dude.
You have not encountered every Pakistani man on alive.me.
I have not, but every one of them that comes onto live.me is the same way.
Yes, because it's a fucking cam site. It's gonna
but no,
attract
it's not a
certain
cam site.
type
Not
of
cam
people.
sites. That's not what I'm not talking about. Cam sites. Those ones I don't read anybody's comments. Are you kidding me? I'm too busy doing other shit. These aren't cam sites. These are like, I don't know how to explain it really. It's like this, I guess. But
okay, so it's not a cam site. So it's not banned in Pakistan. So they can go on and ask a 14-year-old girl to show her bobs.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Every one of them goes, "Hey, kiss me, baby, kiss me, baby."
And they
It's
know
like
that.
Twitch IRL.
And it's a thing. You know what I find very interesting is that it's totally cool on these sites to be like racist against Pakistanis. Like they all are like, it's like a whole thing. Like it's how I would imagine racism was like back in the day against other ethnicities. Like they're just massively racist but they all act the same way though. It's weird. There's totally. I'm telling you, you go on one of these sites within 3 seconds.
It's one of those things that as much good as the internet has done, it's done a lot of bad.
I'm telling you, I go on one of these sites and within 3 seconds, I'll feel my fucking soul dying.
No, it's not even anything. It's not bad. It's not like, but I think they might think that that's what kind of sites they are, but it's really not. It's like, they're not campsites. They're just not.
Right, but if that's all they have access to,
yeah, that's a campsite, essentially.
But it's not. Okay, go ahead.
But for them, like for their culture, like if you don't have access to an actual campsite, exactly. So like, you go to the next best thing.
Right, dude. They're banned in Pakistan. The campsites like that are banned in Pakistan. Is that what you're saying?
Could be. I don't know.
Colton, are they banned in Pakistan? Like banned in places like that? These kind of sites?
I mean, generally, yeah. The government will put a ban on it if they have.
So that makes a lot of sense. They come in thinking that it's some kind of sex site, so that's why they go like show bobs.
Or it's the closest thing they can get. Yeah.
No, but like the problem I have with like live.me or musical.ly or fucking all that shit that's just like in front of a camera. It's the same. I mean, I didn't have a problem with chat roulette growing up, so I'm gonna
chat roulette's different though.
I'm gonna sound pretty fucking hypocritical and shit like that, but like it just caters to that desire for attention that the generation comes up, that everybody's got to be famous. Everyone's trying to get famous in some way or another, and like
Instagram star or this or that star.
Yeah,
it's the one to many.
And so girls are just going out being little fucking thottlers.
Yeah.
And
for red carpets.
I don't know. It's gonna cause a lot of issues later in people's lives.
You're right, because they're having this thing this weekend called the playlist, I guess it is. It's like where they're all the people that are like the top ones on these sites are like meeting down in Orlando. And I was watching it earlier, and they're like, people are getting on and watching them broadcast from there, and they're going, how many famous people are around you? Right? And it's just these people from the site. None of them are famous, but they're starting to think they are, and in their own little areas. You're probably right. That's gonna be very strange when they have to go to work in the real world. They think they're famous,
or they don't. They just have their own little bubble.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's gonna be the big problem with the generation coming up, where like everybody says that we're spoiled, but we didn't grow up being the superstar of our own fucking world.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like, we still had bullies growing up that would fucking...
Well, no, they have bouncers in their rooms that can just kick out anybody who says anything bad about them.
It's like...
I mean, there's
going to be such a fucking complex with these kids when they grow up.
Bro, some of these kids in these channels, like, I go on there, I'll watch it, and I get mesmerized by it, because I'm just watching it like, what the fuck is going on? There'll be like 14,000 people watching one person. And then you go to the next channel, 12,000. The next one, 8,000. There's so many fucking people on these sites that it's ridiculous. Like it's going to have an impact at some point, because there's just so many people watching and involved in these sites that it's very, very strange. And they have, they'll have 8,000 people and be complaining about no one in their shit.
Yeah.
Like one person just broadcasting from their bedroom talking about nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Verge fucking copyright striking tech channels.
Are they? Really?
They did.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, heavily.
Oh.
That was a thing that happened the last week or two.
That depresses me, because I always liked The Verge.
Same, but it was okay. Funny story. After Matthew Topolsky left The Verge, they went to shit.
Yeah. You know what? I was always like, how the fuck does he have the same name as me? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like, no, like, I love Eli, but it's not the same company.
They fell into the same pit that every other fucking online news agency has fallen into, where it's just like they need ratings, they need clicks, so they're just doing clickbaity shit.
Because they used to be different than everybody else.
Yeah,
like,
no, like
when they first started.
The Verge,
when they left.
Yeah.
Well, it was the Verge. Like, I loved them. They left Engadget when AOL bought them out. They started This Is My Next, and then made the Verge. And they made fantastic content. Their reporting was spot on. They did a fuck ton of effort. Like, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for, like, especially that era of the Verge. They did good fucking work.
But the minute that spotlight started fading off of them, that's when they all do the same thing. The minute they start losing a step, they go to the smut.
Well, they even did that later. The bigger they got, the more spuddier they got, because they're
the minute they try to expand, they need investors, so they need some metric to show that they're growing. Investors aren't going to dump money into something that's stagnating, because then they won't get a return on their investment. So they got to show that they're growing.
And we know of all people that when you stay the same, you do not grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not really any area to go in if you specialize in something. You know what I mean? Like, what other area are they going to go into?
There was a website, Uprocks, that I used to. It was like culture, TV, movies, music, and I used to really like them. And same thing, they lost a couple reporters, and it's just gone to lowest. It's lowest common denominator to get click throughs.
Crack.com.
I mean, it created Chris TVR.
It's always kind of been shitty.
Yeah, but it was at least like decent comedy written in there. Like, it was borderline clickbait, but not. It was lists, but not the way that BuzzFeed was doing lists.
They probably had good comedy writers or something, and then they start thinking like anything that they can do it better.
Yeah, but and then a lot of the comedy writers left or got fired and went to like College Humor. Which College Humor is becoming a media empire. Holy fuck.
Yeah. That didn't used to be like.
They got Dropout, like their streaming service. They're creating shows. They're grabbing people from Cracked, like God, I can't remember him. He's one of the dudes that did the movie show. Fuck. But no, College Humor's putting out some decent shit.
Well, see, it can happen.
Jake and Amir comes back, I'll be happy.
I actually listened to a D&D podcast that has Jake on it, and he's fucking hilarious. It's such a funny fucking podcast. It's essentially
I find myself having more trouble finding entertaining things online than I used to because of how everything's kind of consolidated down and kind of gone towards like lowest common denominator. Like there's not, like, I used to have like a ton of sites that I would go to and I would be able to just like kill some time, like click around or whatever. And now I really don't feel like I have that anymore.
I have a theory on that. I think that more people are accepting the idea of entertainment being online than they did before. I mean, there was maybe a 4 or 5 year period where there was good content online and a lot of content online, but people are still watching TV and still not taking the whole, you understand what I'm saying? Like, really, like where you only use the computer for what you would use the TV for. So I think more people are doing it, so it's giving more people outlets, and it's making it's thinning it out. I think, possibly.
I don't know, but like I said, it used to be like go to the Verge, go to Slate, go to Uprocks, whatever. Now it's like I go to Reddit and I go to YouTube, and then like if there's like technical, if there's like particular stuff, then I look around for that. But there's not like the catch-all pages anymore that I used to go to just kind of like waste time and find things.
Because they all tried to fucking get investors, man. They all had to go and become.
Check out The Outline.
They had to. I mean,
that is Topolsky's new site.
Okay.
And it's much more long form stuff. It's not as often, but it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot more streamlined, specialized. Where like a lot of things were broad strokes back then.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder to find the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's just so much more.
Yeah.
everything. And then also it helps, like, one other thing too is, like, once I gave up Facebook, that opened up, because it used to be I would end up, because everybody links everything to their Facebook pages, and so I'd end up just like clicking through all kinds of random stuff, going all kinds of places or whatever. And once I got off Facebook, then I don't get that anymore either, which is both a blessing and a curse, I guess. Yeah. But more benefit than anything. I miss out on some new memes, but my my happiness is exponentially increased.
Sure.
Yeah, someone needs to figure out the all-in-one, like an all-inclusive site, like one site.
I mean, Reddit's the closest thing to that right now, I think.
Yeah.
And Reddit's turning into that fucking garbage pit.
Well, Reddit's turning into a social network.
Yeah, that's garbage pit.
Yeah, that's the issue. So I don't know. I guess I go to vote, or I don't know where I go next after that. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I become like maybe I become like a modern Mennonite and renounce the internet for that kind of. I don't know.
You can't do it though. You couldn't do it.
No,
that's what's giving our fucking children autism. Not the vaccines. Goddamn internet.
I just need YouTube, and I need the comic book, the website that I legally download all the comic books off of, and I'm good. Aside from that, pretty much.
Yeah, YouTube's pretty. I don't think I can live without YouTube at this point.
Well, and the biggest problem is
my YouTube subscriptions are so weird. I wonder if I
have too many.
I wonder if if YouTube looks like to try to figure out how to target advertising to me, and they're like, this dude makes no fucking sense. Like the stuff that he subscribes to.
At this point, as long as I've been on it, I have like over 1,000 subscriptions, and it's just like
they need to figure out somewhere you can easily get rid of your subscriptions.
Well, you have to do them individually, but
yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But they probably don't want it to be easy, right? They probably want to know like things you used to be into, so they can spark your interest again.
Well, the other crazy.
I'll get old stuff, like stuff that I looked at like a while ago will like pop back up again.
Right, but not as often, right? Like but it lingers. It'll come in and be like, hey, remember me? Remember when you used to do this?
They'll do that sometimes. Mine's bad. I just get whatever I was watching the previous day. That's it.
No, but I know what he's saying though. Like every once in a while, there'll be like something that's random that'll pop up, and you'll be
and that's what I want. But I get less of that nowadays than I used to.
The problem is all that random shit that pops up is just curated shit that YouTube deems marketable.
No, more like the random shit that okay, so like I said, I have 1,000 fucking subscriptions or something. Like, obviously, it's impossible to keep on track of that. So like for me, what it used to do was like, every now and then, here's this dude you haven't probably watched in 2 years,
right?
With a suggested video that I know I'll probably enjoy. Like, I want to go down those rabbit holes more often.
Yeah,
right. That's probably.
I got Rip Trippers came up on mine the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy. I forgot that guy exists.
But that's the thing. YouTube doesn't give a fuck if you enjoy the video.
No,
they don't care if it's something that you'll actually enjoy. They put the same videos for everybody on the fucking suggested now because those are the marketable videos. Those are the ones that'll get them the most money.
Oh, I think they do more than they used to now. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like in your coming up, like, like what's next in your thing, it used to be all videos related to like the one you were watching at the current time, but now it's not. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Because those are the curated, marketable videos. Like I said.
It's still shit that I like that would be in my... It's still shit that I'm into.
Yeah, my stuff's still all like related to what I watch.
Yeah.
It's all related to what I watch, but it's not related to the actual video that I'm watching.
No, even the video. Like, okay, I'm gonna click on it goes to another video I watched by the same person.
Right, but
I do also pay for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that factors in either.
But I'm saying like before, all of the suggested videos were related directly to the video I was watching at the current time. Now it's like it's other shit that I'm into, but it's all over the place.
But it can also be like, here's a new thing,
right?
That you like,
right? I don't know if I like that more or not.
Yeah, recommended. You may you liked this. You watched a bunch of these, so maybe you'll like this too.
Right.
Because there's like 2 or 3 like comic book channels that I enjoy because I like the people that or the people that are talking, presenting, or whatever. But so now it tries to feed me like tons of different comic book stuff, and I'm like, I don't want these ones are terrible. Like, I don't want all of this stuff. It does. There was a whole during, because Marvel went through the all new, all different era, which was like it was right after Secret Wars, so it was like 2006, like the end of 2015, 2016, and that's where they had like the different, like, the diversity comics, and everybody got all up. There was like a big group that got all up in arms about having these different diverse characters in the Marvel universe or whatever. And there's like a ton of channels that were like completely anti, and they were just going on about how diversity in comics is terrible. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Like, this is not, just because it's comic book content does not mean this is comic book content that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? And so, and there's a couple gun channels that I follow, so it tries to give me like every gun channel, and I'm like, I want these gun channels because these ones are interesting. I don't want these gun channels because this is just boring bullshit, like right-wing nonsense.
I'm trying to watch Forgotten Weapons, not guns.
Exactly. I'm trying to watch Paul Harrell, and I'm trying to watch Forgotten Weapons, and it's trying to give me Mr. Tactical, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't care about that. I want CN Arsenal, because they're doing a whole thing with Ian right now on the Project Lightning stuff. I'm like, that's fascinating. I don't want a guy with a tactical like training program. I don't want
Arsenal. I still don't get how they have so few subs, to be honest, actually.
I don't either, especially if you go back to some of their old ones, like the gunsmithing ones and stuff. Like, that dude is a fucking artisan. Like, it is. Like, I like watching that. Like, I like watching that kind of stuff.
It's that, but it's also like they've always done a really good job working with historical channels like the Great War and other things like that, of just like, no, I will get my hands on a time relevant piece and go in depth and explain it from like a historical standpoint. Like, that's fascinating to me. Like, then they do great work. It's like, yeah, here's a 2-hour video on this specific firearm.
Right. Or like I like Doug DeMuro, because he gets like interesting, and like he gets annoying, but he always gets like interesting and weird cars that you don't see other places. But I don't want every single fucking car channel on here. I want him because he gets like a weird 1987 Maserati. He goes to Saudi Arabia and gets like these weird Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis that never got released in the United States, and does like full walk around and drives them and everything. Like, that's interesting to me, but I don't want to see
Aztec review.
Yeah, but I don't want to just see every idiot that has a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about that. I don't know.
I get that.
That's my issue with YouTube. It's when they try to push, because I mean, they're just trying to get what they think is similar content. You know what I mean? But it's not. Like, the ones I sub to are pretty specific.
Yeah.
For a reason. But at the same time, they're trying to get those advertising dollars, so they have their algorithms going, and they're like, oh, well, if you watch these things about Marvel Comics, then you'll probably like this stuff about comic books too. And it's like, no, I don't. There's new in-range video up though.
Like, it makes sense for a lot of them, but then at the same time, you're fucking slave to the algorithm, basically. Whether you're a content producer or a watcher. Yep. Or unless you have someone who like actually can recommend you things.
I will say though, the NPR music, because I started watching Tiny Desk concerts, but like the NPR music channel is actually really fucking good. They get a lot of really.
Tiny Desk is the best.
I love Tiny Desk, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, even in this, like, and it's the thing I think I've noticed the most is, it's for YouTube at least, is I don't know if it's true, but it feels like there's less smaller communities almost, or it's harder for like a little community of creators to be like always shown back to back, things like that. Because like, it seems to me like, I don't know, like that's what I loved YouTube was like for vaping stuff. For example, like we had a little vaping community, and things are going to be recommended in that. If you go to tech, there's a tech circle And if you watch one person, you're probably going to be recommended this other person from this community with similar, like a similar style. And like that happened for like for history, you know, that there's circles, things like that. But it seems like those circles are harder to find and not as easy to like. I mean, like hockey, there's hockey circles, but now half of it's on my news feed is like fucking Canadian news videos, and not like the little sub community of hockey people I want to follow. I don't know.
But would you rather not have that? Would you rather not have the ones that you possibly could be into? Because that's how you find new shit, right?
No, like I do want that, but like when I get into a video loop, I do just want it to be that little community. Because
so
I enjoy that.
Have the option.
Community. Like, no, yeah, I definitely have the option, but like if I want to go into that loop, I want to be in that little community. Like, that's how all of us came together. Things like that.
Right. Is the paid YouTube worth it?
I think so.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
I can't.
I like the fact that I can fucking put something on my phone and then turn off my screen.
That you can download, like especially if you take a lot of travel or flights or everything, you can download everything.
Yeah.
Like that's all I do for flights now is I just download 5 hours of YouTube content on an iPad and just be like cool on set. And also you really get used to not seeing ads without an ad blocker.
That's the main thing that gets my attention for that.
Well, it's that, but it I mean, like we're doing a YouTube show. Like I appreciate that YouTube shouldn't be free. And like I do want to at least feel like I'm giving at least a penny to someone if I'm watching their content. But I also don't want a fucking ad. So I don't know. It's a worthwhile trade-off for me, but that's also because I don't watch Netflix. I watch YouTube.
Maybe they should just give everybody that does YouTube free YouTube.
Yeah, I will say we just watched the wife and I just watched The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Oh, it is good?
I mean,
is it made by the CW? So is it going to be good for one season and then get super angsty in the second and just turn into shit later?
Who wrote it?
See, that's the thing too, because I'd completely forgotten that was that Gerard Way had done that. Like I had completely forgotten about it.
The answer to your question is yes, it's going to get angsty.
You know what? I don't know because I downloaded the comics like a while ago, and they'd been sitting in my to read folder, but I just hadn't gotten to them. And then the show, all of a sudden, there was like the commercial, like the show starts like the next week, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, let's watch this. And I was like, I'm not going to read the comic book first, so that way I can go into it without having an idea. And we finished the show, and then I read the comic books, and I actually think I like the show better than the comic books. So
when I was a young boy, my father sold me to this rich man.
Don't talk shit about. Like I'm not like emo or whatever, but like, dude, my chem made some really good fucking music, man. Like they got caught up in that like that
I have a
scene.
DVD somewhere. Okay,
but like the Black Parade is like the closest thing to like a modern rock opera that anybody's done like in a while. Like there was all like kind of concept albums. Like it's good music. Yeah. Just like I like Tegan and Sarah a lot too, and it's easy to make fun of them, but like they make really good fucking music.
It's also apparently easy to creep on them too.
Who, Tegan and Sarah?
Yeah.
Creeping out Tegan, or maybe it was Sarah. God, I love NoFX.
NoFX is dope.
I love Fugazi too. That's another one that like a lot of people don't know about anymore.
Benghazi?
Wow.
I'm not even. That's not.
No, I'll have to check it out because you're not the first person I've actually heard it's good from, and that's kind of like also from people who didn't know who Gerard Way was, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's kind of cool to me that he's apparently kicking ass, I guess. It's I know for a long time he's wanted to do this.
Well, no, he did this in the break in between Black Parade and the True Story of the Fabulous Killjoys, the fourth album. Like he did this in the break in between, and they won an Eisner Award for this for best limited series. Like Umbrella Academy won an Eisner Award. Like
that's what he wanted to do before he started.
And that's I had no idea. And I actually one of the comic book YouTube shows that I watched like did an episode on this like right before the Netflix show started. And it was like another reminder for me to watch the show. But he went to the School of Visual Design. He went to the comic book school. So like that was before he was in the band. He was going to be a comic book writer and artist.
Yeah. He used to work for Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And then that's how he started that band. Was he was on the ferry from Jersey to New York City when 9/11 happened.
Right.
And then the crippling depression ensues and he makes a band.
Yeah.
But like, no, that was always his ambition, was he's always wanted to make comics.
Yeah. He's writing Doom Patrol for DC right now. So, and it's getting really good review. I'm not a big DC fan, but it's getting really good reviews.
Oh, guys.
So,
oh man, speaking of
fuck,
man.
I'm an Image and Marvel guy.
I started reading the Stormlight archive. Brandon Sanderson?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Okay.
Fucking A, dude.
Okay.
I finished The Way of Kings in like 4 days, and then I was like, well, fuck. Now I gotta buy Oathbringer. Or no, Oathbringer's the third one. Words of Radiance. So I'm like 30% of the way through Words of Radiance. I'm right at the part where you find out she has a shard blade. And dude, it fucking blew my mind because of the implications. Holy shit, it's such a good series. I'm loving it. That's the type of high fantasy I really enjoy.
It's nice when you find something good like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I find out it's all part of a fucking Cosmere universe that's all set in the same fucking, like, got the same deities and overarching events, just different galaxies or planets and shit. Oh man, I'm never gonna run out of shit to read. But I kind of want to do Wheel of Time after this.
Didn't somebody option Wheel of Time finally?
Yeah, he died. The writer died, and Brandon Sanderson won the rights. No,
but didn't like a studio, HBO or somebody option? Like, isn't there? Like, I don't know that they're actually making anything, but there is a thing in place for it, I believe.
Well, I know that Brandon Sanderson has a deal with DGM Entertainment or something like that.
Okay.
Like a development deal, like something where they're holding on to it.
Yeah, where they paid him like $270 million.
Sweet deal, man. That's what everybody wants is a development deal. They give you money to do nothing, hold on to things.
Is anybody else excited for? I mean, I know this is kind of silly, but like, is anybody else actually excited for the last season of Game of Thrones, or is everybody just kind of like, let's get this fucking finished so we can see what happens?
No, I'm kind of excited.
Okay.
I mean, a bit of both, but I'm still more excited. Because
I'm legit like kind of excited from some of like the little trailer stuff they've shown.
In February 2018, it was revealed that Amazon Studios and Sony Pictures Television struck a deal to co-develop the series for Amazon's video streaming service. It was formally greenlit in October 2018 for The Wheel of Time.
There you go. I knew I read something about it.
Which means you'll get a pilot episode, and then we'll see after that.
Amazon's done pretty good with their shows are not.
The originals are getting better. Yeah.
They have The Expanse now.
Yeah. Like, no, their like original lineups getting a lot better.
They haven't really done like the Electric Dreams is like the closest like sci-fi thing that they've really done. That's really good. I enjoyed that, but that's like an anthology thing. Yeah. Have they done like a fantasy thing yet at all?
No, I don't think they've done fantasy yet. But yeah, the Electric Dreams is like a sci-fi anthology. I'd like to see their fantasy. This might be their foray into fantasy.
Well, they have the Good Omen series coming out pretty soon too, from Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. That's good. That looks really. I love that book, so that looks like it'll be really good. That's the one with the angel and the devil and the Antichrist, but it's Terry Pratchett, so it's funny, and Neil Gaiman, so it's if people haven't seen the trailer for it, go check the trailer for Good Omens on Amazon Originals. It's definitely looks like it'll be entertaining.
So DMG Entertainment bought the rights to the entire Cosmere universe in October 2016, and they're fast tracking an adaptation of The Way of Kings.
So that's another thing too, with the way that we consume media now. Like everything has to be a franchise. Do you think that takes away from? Do you think that there's something lost with not having like single standalone things? Like nobody wants to do. Like nobody wants to buy. Like nobody wants to buy a standalone book. Like publishers don't want a single standalone book. They want something that can be part of a shared universe, or they want.
I don't know. I think it's a symptom of the way that the world is nowadays, because everything's changing so heavily. There's nothing stays the same, but we don't go into books for the real world. So if we can have a series like this, the Stormlight Archive is supposed to be 10 books, right? That'll span almost our entire lives.
It affects everything. We
will have something there. We'll have something that we know, something that we're familiar with, to escape into that fantasy while the world is fucking changing.
But you don't have 100% of anything, because they're always looking forward to the next thing. And what it used to be they put everything into their projects, and now they're not doing that because they're holding back shit for the next one.
It does seem like sometimes I've read more than a few things that I'm like, this could have been a single book. Like this didn't need to be a trilogy, like this is all like, honestly, the Hunger Games probably could have worked that into like one single book, if like one big book, if she did it properly.
Yeah. They're always thinking about what they can put in the next one. It's just, it fucks everything up. It really does. It's like, if it would be like if you're in a relationship and they're not putting everything because they think they might be able to find someone else. Not doesn't happen.
I mean, I don't think it does. I like the fact that when I find a book or a universe that I really like, that there's usually 12 more books in that universe. I don't want to read one book and be done with that universe.
Because you want the content.
That's why I can't read
if you find a good world,
Game of Thrones
you want to
series.
get lost in it.
I can't read the Game of Thrones series because the characters are dying so often. I want time to be able to spend with that character.
You'd rather have 10 books of mediocre content than one book of really great content?
Yes.
No, I'd rather have 10 books of really good content.
Interesting.
I want to get lost in the world.
I would too. I'd rather one book.
I would rather have more, because when I'm reading, it's not just the author's words that are influencing me. It's me imagining that world, imagining everything in that world. So the more I get about that world, the more I enjoy that book or that series of books or that story.
You may be in the majority. I don't know.
No, I can agree with that to an extent, because I think I would rather have quality, but to me also I want quantity, because it's one of those things. World building to me, I get that.
It's finding the balance between those, to where you don't feel like they're just pushing out content that's not of the same quality.
Yeah, like the middle books in the Wheel of Time series, where it just kind of fucking slogs on.
That's what I'm most worried about Game of Thrones, actually.
Yeah, do you think they have an into it, or do they have an into it? Do you know?
They filmed the into it. It airs.
Yeah, they have an into it. That's what I'm worried about. Where it's to me, I think you could have dragged it out another 3 seasons to get to an end.
Yeah,
well, they did say that.
Nope, we're getting an end. Okay.
Well, they did say that every episode this season is going to be it's all going to be like 90 minutes long. They're like, it's like 8 movies or 7 movies or whatever, instead of
That's what I'm hoping for. But like even still, it's just like, I mean, they were already hour-long episodes to start with. Like I do think you could have pulled together a couple of seasons out of,
or at least a full season that's not just 7 episodes long.
Well, they're longer,
but that, but they could have gone.
There's still so many questions.
It could have taken longer to get where they're at because there's a whole bunch of plot threads that got dropped for the series, which then my thing is, I don't know if I'm going to, like, if the books ever get released, if Winds of Winter ever releases, I don't know if I'm going to read it after I've seen the end of the series.
Yeah,
because now, like, the stuff that really interested me, like Lady Stoneheart and some of the other stuff going on, like, obviously that doesn't have anything to do with the final, with the end.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, like, okay, the book that I'm reading now, like the series that I'm reading now, right? I would rather have like 20 books in this series than just like a fucking trilogy or something, because as I'm reading, there's so much intricacy in the shit that's introduced that I want to know the background of it. Like, maybe fucking show me Seth's son Villano's fucking past. Like, what is truthless? What does that even mean? Let's go spend a fucking couple books in the Shin area, in Shinzano, and fucking find out about that shit. And then, like, there's so much that can be done in a universe to like build up that world that I enjoy just spending time in that universe.
Yeah, no, world building's really it's a great aspect of story.
I wonder would all that be there though? You know what I mean? If they had an alternate plan.
What do you mean an alternate plan?
I'm saying if they had an alternate plan to go 10 books, right, and they knew that already right from the beginning, would you like that book as much?
Yes, because most of them plan it to be like 10 books. The problem is when a series is supposed to be 3 books, like The Wheel of Time, that turns out to be 14, and you've got like 4 or 5 books in the middle that are just formulaic and boring as fuck.
Right.
Overall, the series is great.
Right.
But they had some fucking the Hobbit 2s in there.
Yeah, like The Sopranos.
Yeah, like the entire show's The Sopranos.
That is why I'm worried.
It's like the 4th season of The Sopranos just kind of was like it was there, and you're kind of like.
Is that the one where he was a salesman?
No, it's like Godfather 2 and 3 where you go, did we really need it?
Yeah.
How can you? The Godfather 2 surpasses the original.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the Godfather 1 as much as I like the Godfather 2.
The Godfather 2 is one of the very rare.
Okay, then Godfather 1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3. One is
you know what? If
so
the Godfather 3 was not called the Godfather 3, if it was just like a separate movie without with them being different characters, people would not judge it near as harsh. I just watched it not that long ago because it was on Netflix. It's not that bad a movie. The problem is Michael Corleone is the problem.
I feel the same way about Prometheus. If Prometheus wasn't touted as this prequel to Alien, it would have been regarded as a much better movie. If it was the start of its own story.
Well, the real problem with Godfather was that 1 was good, 2 was better. They were expecting 3 to be even better than 2.
Don't. The problem with Prometheus is don't advertise it as being a prequel to Alien when it's really not.
Yeah.
When it's like on its own little, it's like running parallel to it.
It's like it's almost
simultaneous.
I wouldn't say it's like if they said this is a prequel to Jurassic Park, and it's just them walking around a desert and they find a chunk of amber at the end. Like, that's not a prequel to Jurassic Park.
Right.
That's just let's watch some archaeologists lost in the fucking desert.
No, it should have straight up, if they wanted to do like an Alien prequel, then it should have been about how the space jockey ended up on LV, whatever, the one that they found in the first Alien movie.
Yeah. Not
this whole side, because that was a different planet. That was only 30 years before Alien. You know what I mean? I wish they had just let Neil Blomkamp do his Alien 5, and then we would have been happy with that. Because anything Neil Blomkamp does, I'm pretty happy with normally.
But that would have been better. And
it looks like he's doing RoboCop now, right?
He might be.
I think he's doing RoboCop next.
Yeah, I think he has a couple of new projects. I know for sure.
Which is good because I was worried after Chappie he wasn't going to get a whole lot more. I enjoyed Chappie personally, but it was weird. So, you know, he had Elysium and then he had Chappie. So it's like those were not mainstream hits. So I was worried he wasn't going to get more chances to make like bigger things. He was going to end up having to do like small stuff again. So,
yeah, that's fair. But I think we would have liked an Alien 5 more, but I think going back kind of Game of Thronesy, I want to see more from that world. Now that you have created that world, I'm okay with seeing.
No, I want to see it too. I just don't want. I want to see more side projects. I just don't want Ridley Scott to do them.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. As much as I respect Ridley Scott, he's made some fantastic movies, but he also can't keep his hands out of shit either. He always has to keep messing. How many cuts of Blade Runner are there? 6?
Yeah.
About.
You know what I mean? Like he always wants to go back and change things, and he's as bad as George Lucas about not just leaving something alone and letting it be. You know what I mean? He has to keep putting his hands back in the shit.
I mean, like there's
Kingdom of Heaven is the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven is a vastly underrated. Like everybody saw the theatrical cut and we're like, meh. The director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven turns it into a fantastic movie, almost as good. Like if Gladiator's here, then the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven is like here. The director's cut, not the theatrical cut.
Welcome to the chat, Caitlin. But you're late. We're about to end the show.
Yeah, no, I mentioned G-Dragon.
Yeah, no, I enjoy Big Bang, and G-Dragon's solo work.
But no, like that's
totally gonna go see How to Train Your Dragon.
It's supposed to be really good.
What is it? Is it 3?
Yeah.
I mean,
talk about a trilogy that just keeps fucking getting better.
No, because they've had some like 0.5 ones in there or whatever that are.
They had like the little series on.
Well, yeah, but that's like saying Ice Age isn't a great trilogy because they had those offshoots. Ice Age.
Yeah, none of the offshoots are at anywhere near the same like quality.
You know, there's a weird thing though with a lot of that, like the early aughts like animation now, like we remember it pretty fondly, but when you go back and watch it, it looks terrible now.
Yeah,
like
but Ice Age was all about how fucking funny it was. Ice Age to me is still one of the funniest movies I've seen.
I have issues when I go back and watch because of where we are now with computer animation, and you go back and watch these older ones that you really enjoyed, but you go back and watch them and you're like, this really looks fucking terrible now.
Or even some of them that like
everything
for the time period, it was like, this is the best thing you've ever fucking
like
seen in your life.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That's the animation, like traditional like celluloid animation stands up like always, like that never, you don't have an issue with that. It's when you get into the CGI stuff that you have problems. But the Final Fantasy movie,
same time, Blizzard, if you go back and look at World of Warcraft's launch, like their launch cinematic, it's an average modern day release right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're thinking back like that was 2004. This was the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, boys.
I always wanted them to go back and make another The Legends of the Guardians, that owl one, because they did a great job on that one.
That was Zack Snyder.
Oh.
Do you remember what a big deal that was?
Just want a Game of Thrones spin-off just featuring the Mountain and his brother.
Nope, I want one set in Bravos.
Did anybody ever see that post that somebody made where they did a Robert's Rebellion, like they cast the Robert's Rebellion prequel to?
That would be cool too.
But the actors that they cast to play the younger ones of the people on the show, it was like dead on ridiculous. I'll have to find it and link it to you guys.
Like that's what I'm like the most excited about, but also the most worried about of Game of Thrones, is they made such a fantastic world. You have such fantastic opportunities for spin-offs.
Let's see the fucking.
They're never.
They're doing. I mean, they're doing the.
Let's see the fucking taming of the dragons and the conquering of the.
They're going all the way back to that. We're going to see ancient Valeria and that whole deal.
Yeah,
we're going to see before the wall existed. That's the era.
So much you can do there, and it's never going to live up to the quality of Game of Thrones, and that's the shitty part.
No.
Probably.
What he needs to do is before he dies, he needs to write a Silmarillion for the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Where like
so that
Lord
way
of the
other
Rings
can work off of it.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings had so many questions by the end of the books that J.R.R. Tolkien was just like, all right, fuck it, let's write all of the fucking history of this world from the start of the universe.
What do the R's stand for?
Like that's why I go back to agreeing with Colt at the end of the day always for that. World building is number one to me.
Ronald Real Tolkien.
Whoa. Yeah.
Ronald Real Tolkien.
All right, boys, it's late. Let's get the fuck off this show.
All right.
Hour and 45 minutes. We did well. We did well for the comeback tour.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We didn't do intro music, but we'll do outro music. Let's fucking get this queued up.
Close enough.
Hopefully the world is still... Hopefully India and Pakistan haven't unleashed nuclear holocaust.
Otherwise, I'm probably going to move to Georgia.
Or hopefully they wait until like Wednesday for that, so that whatever stupid shit Trump says doesn't like overshadow a nuclear engagement.
You think he's that powerful? He can over.
I think his stupidity is that powerful that it can fucking block out
nuclear holocaust.
That it can block out a nuclear engagement between two nuclear powers on this country. On this world.
At the very minimum on Fox News and CNN for sure.
That's strong. That's a strong statement.
Yeah. Fox News will be like
Fox News, CNN, MSNBC.
No. Fox News says
they'll ignore India, Pakistan.
Fox News says a couple brown people are dying, but Trump said,
yeah.
Like, okay, no, we're done. We're done.
You're not getting into that.
See you next week.
Good night, guys. We will see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. All 7 of you.
Yeah.
When you gonna come
honestly,
on
from now on,
Stopgap?
we
The
just
hell
gotta
is that?
name every show. We'll probably cancel this one too.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
I don't know why we do it, but it's
It's addictive, dude. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel right.
All right, I'm out of here. It's late.
All right, have a good one, bud.
Later.
Please bring